Heart disease seems to run in my family. No male has lived past the age of 60 until just recently. The night of my heart attack, I woke up about 3 a.m. with pain in my arm, moved into my chest. I had 2 heart attacks before, and I knew something wasn't right with the aching, but I didn't want to admit it was something really wrong, so I just blew it off. Finally, I woke my wife up and told her, and she decided, let's go to the hospital now.
Mr. Overby is an unusual presentation. He was first diagnosed with a heart condition at the age of 24. When he came to us, he had a mini heart attack.
When I arrived at United Regional, I was taken up to the cardiac cath lab for a cardiac catheterization.
We did the angiogram right away without wasting much time. We found a severe triple vessel disease. That's really stunning to us. He's so young.
Dr. Thoda was so concerned. He had the staff call Dr. Muhammad, and within minutes, Dr. Muhammad was there, standing beside me, explaining to me how the procedure would go.
I did an urgent quadruple bypass on him. We have a hybrid operating room where we performed complex procedures with different specialties involved under one roof. The patient then goes to the ICU, which has all the newer gadgets to monitor the patients who have heart surgery. When the patient goes to the floor, they are managed by highly skilled nurses and supportive staff.
I feel better after the surgery. I have a lot more energy. I do a lot more things. I get out and about a lot more. I'm not as tired.
By doing the bypass, he's going to do well another, hopefully 15 to 20 years. That's why we convinced him, even though a little bit anxious, finally he agreed what we have said to him.
I'm only 38, and I just didn't want to have to go through this again. And Dr. Muhammad said this would last for many years if I would do a complete lifestyle change. And that's what I've done. I wanted to be one of the family members that does make it to 60 years old.
I was at work. I'm a truck driver. I had just finished my last load for the day. Got home, and I was having some discomfort in the top part of my throat, but no red flags. Took a shower, laid down, and when I laid down, it was like electricity going through my head. I made the decision to drive myself to the hospital, which wasn't a good decision to make. But on the way, when I was on Brook, I could see the bright lights of the hospital, and I knew if I could just get there, I was going to be okay.
During the process of the heart attack, the heart could stop, such as an arrhythmia, and he could have died while trying to get to the hospital. So we always advise our patient to call 911 if that happens.
When I got to United Regional, I knew that I was in a safe place. And man, oh man, this place kicked into gear and it went to another level for me.
ER has a computer, they hit a button, it pages and calls everybody. So time is muscle, that's our motto. And so door to balloon, it's from the time the patient gets to the ER until we get a balloon in and open the blockage up. It's very important because muscle damage is occurring.
And the consequences of losing a lot of heart muscle is it can lead to arrhythmias, sudden cardiac death. It can lead to congestive heart failure, which is a terrible thing.
And the one thing that I can remember more than anything is the girls that were working on me met us at a door halfway down the hallway, and they were there to give me high fives, to tell me, you're gonna be just fine. They took me to the cath lab when I was in there. Everyone was talking to me. They were explaining to me what was gonna happen, when it was gonna happen, monitors everywhere, and of course, right to my right was Dr. Desiree, and he let me know that I was gonna be okay.
During the process of opening up the blood vessel, we always communicate with the patient and to let the patient know that we are an experienced team and everything is going to be okay.
After a little bit, Dr. Desiree looked and he said, Mr. Brown, and I said, yes, sir, and he said, you're fixed. You're gonna be fine.
Fortunately for him, he had very little damage to his heart, and when he left the hospital, his echocardiogram showed that the heart muscle was completely normal.
Well, when I went for my checkup with Dr. Hull, my primary doctor, I walked in there and he said, "Hey, Rick," he said, "I knew exactly when you got to the hospital. I knew that you were in the ER. I knew that you were in trouble." And then he also told me that at about 10 o'clock, he got a text message from Desiree. And Desiree said, and I quote it said, "Hey, dude, Brown is fixed. He's going to be just fine." When you think of all the steps that United Regional has taken over the years to invest in equipment, to invest in doctors, and to invest in the technology that they have, to know that I could come here, no fear at all. United Regional was here for me, and they took care of what was wrong with me.
United Regional has stayed at the forefront of technological advances for the treatment of cardiovascular diseases in general.
The leadership in United Regional is very responsive to the needs of the physicians. They are very helpful to physicians who bring newer technologies to the Texoma region.
They're very supportive of our team, and because they care about quality and they want to see us provide the best quality of care to our community. We have 4 cath labs at our disposal, and they're the newest and best equipment that's available.
The leadership has been very instrumental in creating the electrophysiology program, because we now have equipment available to us which is previously not present at United Regional, including state-of-the-art 3D mapping and fluoroscopy services.
Electrophysiology is important in Wichita Falls because it keeps those patients who would otherwise have to travel, out of town. We can keep those patients right here and take care of them here.
An electrophysiological study is essentially a diagnostic procedure that is used to determine the cause of a patient's symptoms such as palpitations or skipped heartbeats.
It takes many people to operate a case for the EP, the CRNAs, anesthesiologist, of course the physician, a couple of cath lab or EP techs like myself, and then many more people operating not only the equipment, but obviously hands-on patient care during the study.
There are individuals who sit outside in the control room and help us stimulate a patient's heart to get an arrhythmia going. Once we can effectively get an arrhythmia going, we can then perform what's known as 3D mapping of the heart to understand the geometry of the heart and determine where the arrhythmia is coming from. We can then therapeutically treat patients during the same procedure by performing what's called an ablation. Up until now, we've had a strong presence of interventional cardiology and preventative cardiology, as well as cardiothoracic surgery here. Bringing cardiac electrophysiology essentially completes the program and allows patients to receive all of their cardiac care here in Wichita Falls.